Folks, this is the pre-show. I'll be right back. No.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up,
man.
Mike? Hey, I'm on the freeway, but I'm here.
Hey, dude. And this is a better time than any to tell our audience, be safe while you're driving. Don't text.
Yes, exactly.
We got 6
I told
minutes.
Siri to get me on.
Yeah. I got to run to the bathroom. Ruben here is going to tell you guys some jokes.
Yeah, like I think I'm funny. Yeah, that's a joke. Go for it, dude. Yeah.
I'll be right back, dude.
Okay, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, hello.
Hey, what up, dude?
What up? What up?
What's going on, Zeke? I'm tuning in from the road. I'm on the 405.
You
Just
took you on the road?
Yeah. I'm almost home. Not quite though. But I figured, you know what? Hey, I'll do my due diligence and at least get on Zoom. Just
That's cool.
I mean, after all, I've got the face for radio anyway, so
Oh, bro, come on now. Come on now.
How you been, man?
I've been good. Good. Just trying to enjoy my day off. Trying to get all my errands done before Saturday.
Right.
Yeah.
What's it called? Did anybody shoot Jimena or Luke the link?
Yeah, I sent him the link.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Cool.
I sent it through WhatsApp. I sent him a message through Facebook, but he never got it, man. So.
Oh shoot.
But I just hit him up like a few minutes ago. He said he's already ready. So.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of those welcome to LA moments, rushing home.
How far are you?
Home. I just went from the 405 to the 10 right now, so still a little bit away. Still like at least a good 20 minutes if traffic is on my side.
Oh, okay. Well, it's cool that you were still able to make it here.
Yeah, I brought my headphones today, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I can,
Yeah.
I think the Franz audience will be understanding,
Oh, yeah, dude.
I was telling Zeke I got a face for radio anyway, so it's all good, It's all good.
Ruben, I feel you are a very regal, handsome man.
I believe so too.
Bro, crickets. I think we're officially live now, right?
Oh no, man.
We've
I
been
mean,
live
we
for
are live, right?
Yeah.
We are live.
Yeah,
We've been
I
live.
see that.
we've been live.
We've been live, yeah. This is like the behind the scenes though, or technically not anymore. For a minute, we've been on. Zeke was saying that he sent Luke the link. So we're just waiting on him. He said he was ready though, I think.
Yeah, he said he should be on. He said boy, so he's gonna
Cool.
be on.
Yeah, it was cool. I did an interview, and he was on it too at the same time. I didn't realize he was who he was, you know.
Oh, there
And
he
then
is.
like when he started talking, I was like, oh hey, I know who he is. Cool, you know. Hey, Luke, how you doing?
Hey.
Luke,
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
what's up, Luke?
What's going on? Let's see.
I was just telling the fellas right now that we did an interview together, and it took me like a minute to realize who you were. Like they were talking about, like, oh, I know who that is. I'm like, okay.
Do you just live in your car?
I've been driving a lot. It's like the LA life, right?
Yeah, because when we did that interview together,
I
you
was
were
in my car. Yep.
Yeah, Ruben, you do what you can, huh?
I do, man.
That's
I mean,
savage,
like,
bro.
I gotta
Yeah.
just figure this shit out. That's what it is. Yep. You know what's crazy about that interview is like in the middle of the interview, it was hella hot outside. My phone died because the sun was hitting it from the car. And so like it shut off on me and I had to put it in front of the AC to cool it down so that I can get back on the interview. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
That's why you bounced out.
Yeah, yeah. And then I couldn't have the AC on because you could hella hear it on the interview. So I was all
Okay.
sweaty in the car. It was gross.
It got overheated, huh? I hate when that
Yeah, it
happens.
did. I did, yeah. So hey man, thanks for making time, man.
Yeah, thank you,
jumping
Luke.
on.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Got us out of a
sure,
bind
man.
here.
It's pretty cool that you guys do this. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's our pleasure, man. For everybody just tuning in, this is Hanging with the Friends. Of course, we are on every Thursday night at 8:30. And tonight, we have a very special guest. His name is Luke McRoberts. This is my first time meeting you, sir.
My first
Hey,
time, too.
nice- yeah,
Luke.
nice to meet most of you guys.
You're joining us from Mexico City right now, right? Ciudad de Mexico?
Yeah, man, straight from La Doctores.
Oh, wow.
Awesome, man. But you're originally
Yeah.
from Chicago, right? And I only know that because the interview, you know what I mean? It's fresh. So I got
Yeah,
to hear
yeah.
a lot of the history.
Born and raised in Chicago, but I moved to Mexico.
Go White
City
Sox, huh? Or are you a
ago.
Cubs fan?
No, White Sox.
Yeah, me too. Go Sox, man. There you go.
Yeah, I hate the Cubs, actually.
Right on, man. Cool.
So I guess, the question that I have for you, and I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure tons of people have asked you this, is when and how did the trek happen from Chicago to Mexico City?
Yeah, it's kind of, that's always like, I kind of have like a pre-written script of this because that's like always what people ask me.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is actually the first time I've done anything like this in English, ironically.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like kind of stoked about like being able to actually talk with people in English. So
Like
this is not-
articulate it exactly the way you hear it in your head, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess the not like pre-written answer to that question would basically be that, I was living in Chicago for a really long time, like my entire life. And, I was ready for a change and I wanted to move somewhere else, but I also love that city. And I think no offense to any other city, but I think it's the best city in the country. So I didn't want to move to a shittier city. I wanted to move to a cooler city. So I decided to move here because I liked it. I thought I could be a musician here. I thought I could experience new cultures, learn new things every day. And so far, so good. I mean, I think it was pretty much like a success in those terms, even though like musically, I think probably would have been a better decision to stay in Chicago. Probably more opportunities for the kind of music that I make. But then again, Mexico has kind of like allowed me to concentrate more on making music and more on myself. So there's a give and take with everything. but that's the short answer.
Well, cool. I mean, that's interesting because, for the three of us as a band, we're very much just kind of dipping our toes into kind of what Mexico has to offer in terms of, for musicians, right? As opposed to California, which can be very hard to be a musician in. And we felt like there was a very big tonal shift, at least in Tijuana, where we've been. People seem to be a lot more engaged with what we're doing than they ever were, for instance, in San Jose or Los Angeles. I'm interested to hear more about Chicago because I've never been there, and it's probably on the top of my list of places to go. And I know it has a rich music history,
Right.
Which I should know more about, but I unfortunately don't. But how does Chicago compare kind of to Mexico City?
Well, as a musician, you mean, right?
Right.
Yeah, well, being a musician in Chicago, I guess there's a lot more spaces for music and for alternative music, for independent music, that kind of thing. So like you guys being received really well in Tijuana. I mean, I'm sure you guys play awesome. I listened to your album today. But I also think that like there's kind of a love for things that come from the outside here in Mexico.
Right.
So
Almost like a novelty or something, almost, right? Something like that.
well, I don't know, dude. Like, do you know? Well, if anybody knows, do you guys know what it means? The term malinchismo.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So
I hear that a lot, where like people will be like real big fans of like American music and not their own, like stuff made in Mexico or whatever,
Yeah, totally, and that's. I mean, it's a real thing. Also,
It is.
So, I mean, I get more attention than other Mexican musicians that are just as good as I am sometimes. And so that's, I don't know, that's like, I guess an advantage for me.
That makes it tough sometimes, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, it makes it definitely makes it tough for the Mexican musicians, but makes it,
Some of them, because some people get it, right? Like, I don't know, It's like anything though, right? Any market, some people get it, some people don't because the struggle's real,
Yeah, I don't know. It's on a whole different level, I think, in Mexico.
Okay.
Like the majority of Mexican rock bands sing in English.
They do. And I've
Isn't
told
that
people
weird?
that. I was talking to a marketing firm here, and they were like, why do you want to go play in Mexico, here in LA? And I was like, you don't have a pulse on how it is down there, do you? Because a lot of bands are singing in English,
It's weird. And I'm still like kind of wrapping my head around the whole thing.
Yeah.
You don't really have a problem with playing with different bands on the same bill, right? They all pretty much fill in the same like category, that the type of music that you play.
Oh man, I play whatever somebody gives me, man. I play, especially these days. Like if there's something available, I'll play it. And I played every kind of gig I feel like that exists too. So like
Yeah.
Right.
yeah. I mean, short of a funeral. I haven't played a funeral yet, but I played some weird
Yeah.
gigs, man.
I heard you can make a killing doing that, man. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I need to get my I need to get like my
Get a good black suit.
sad like Mexican funeral music repertoire up
Yeah.
and going in order to make a good living at that.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, dude. What were you asking about the what Chicago has to offer?
Oh, I've always been really curious about Chicago in particular, and for someone like me who's never been there, who wants to go there desperately. Man, I was gonna go to. It was like destination number one, and then COVID hit, and then it's just like, oh well, there goes any plans to go over there right now. But yeah, I've always been just really interested in the vibe with Chicago because it has such a history about it,
Yeah, I think it's I mean I grew up in I'm 32, So like my formation musically was kind of like, like late 90s, early 2000s, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Kind of when that scene was sort of exploding in a lot of ways. That was like, I guess it was the back end. It was like the end of the heyday for rock music in a lot of ways in Chicago.
Right.
I just found out that like the Metro in Chicago is closing, which is like like one of the most famous kind of like cool alternative spots. Like I saw my first show there. I saw the Smashing Pumpkins play there and stuff like that. And because of COVID
wow.
closing, but I don't
It's a
know.
bummer. Yeah.
Yeah. One difference that I noticed between Chicago and Mexico that really stands out to me is that because I studied jazz in college, and I'm not like a jazz musician or whatever, but that's what I studied. And so I would always go out in Chicago and like try and sit in with the bands at whatever club that I was at.
Oh, cool.
And that's like a thing that like even your professors will encourage you to do. Everybody wants you to do that. But there's this huge snobby hierarchy that exists there. Like really bad. Like, oh, I play jazz. You're you're low on the totem pole here. You don't know anybody. We're not going to let you play, kind of thing. And
Well, let me ask you this, Luke.
yeah.
Is it because you can't scat, or can you scat?
No, it's really because you can't. It's really about who you
Like
know.
who you know?
Yeah,
Right. It's
it's
that
really
politics, right? It's bullshit, Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're playing on a street corner and then somebody comes and beats you up and says, "This is my street corner. Get off."
Right.
You need to know the guy and be friends with the guy whose street corner it belongs to before you go and play there. Now, here in Mexico, there's none of that. I've gone out and played, and like people like it really encourage you to get on stage. And,
That's awesome. Yeah.
And like not only that, like I recorded an entire album here with Mexican musicians, and most of them were just so happy to play that like I wasn't being charged. They just wanted to be like a part of the artwork. They just
It's different, right? Yeah. It's a different mentality. We've had that with musicians too, where they're like really, really eager and happy and really like disciplined when it comes to playing. It's crazy.
I like it more. I like it more here.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's interesting. Yeah. Back when I was in San Jose, I was in a band for a bit, and our drummer and our bassist were, obviously, it was a rock band, but our drummer and our bassist were both also jazz musicians. And so they kind of introduced me to a lot of like how those physics work with how, how jazz works. And it seems like kind of what you said, it seems, in San Jose, at least it's a very small, cliquey, specific group of people that tend to try to only play with each other, and it seems like for someone to try to join in, with these jazz groups, like, yeah, there's sort of like an initiation, or you have to sort of like, earn their trust or whatever before you can be in the rotation playing these gigs with them. So I thought that was very interesting.
It's a messed up mentality. I mean, in my opinion, it's like the whole thing, because, you're playing in a band, you're playing music, you're supposed like you don't matter. Like
right.
The end result is really what matters. And if you're
the sum of all parts, right? The sum of all parts, really.
Yeah, and if you're a jazz musician and you're improvising and you're playing in a band together, like you need to do everything that you can to make this horrible musician sound really great. Because if you're the best and you're playing with this horrible musician and the band sounds bad, it's kind of your fault.
Right.
I think.
I've always been really interested about, what jazz musicians think of rock bands. because they tend to have a pretty negative opinion about rock bands, you know. I mean, I guess depending on what the rock band is, but yeah, I always found it hard for myself to be able to kind of like hang out with jazz musicians because it's sort of like being the kindergartner hanging out with whatever 8th graders or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
I mean,
there's
I'm sure
cool
if you play like in Dream Theater, you know, I'm sure they don't make fun of you. I guess I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Dream Theater.
I don't
I
know.
don't know. They probably still make fun of you.
Right.
So,
man.
quick question: being from Chicago, are you a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan?
You know, I was when I was a kid, when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
But like, that's not something I listen to regularly now. But if the jam comes on, I bob my head to it. You know, I like it.
Yeah.
But no, it's not my favorite band in the world. I think it was a cool time in music for Chicago, though, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the Pumpkins, but to be honest, last 3 albums I kind of fell out of.
Yeah, just the older stuff was
Yeah.
dope.
It was so
Kind
much.
of, that's kind
part
of why I didn't want to say, yeah, I love the Smashing Pumpkins, because I keep checking them out, hoping they come out with something cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that great. The new stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's unfortunate with a lot of these bands.
90s bands, right?
Yeah, you know.
Or
Well,
period,
I mean, I think
right? Yeah.
I think bands in general, it's kind of like age is always your enemy. You know.
Yeah.
You're always going to be fighting like relevancy and inspiration and you know new ideas and it's just a bummer. You know, you have these folks that are like in their 20s and they're coming out with this brand new sound and taking the whole world by storm. And then next thing you know, they're like, I don't know, 50, right? And then not to say that that's a bad thing, but it's sort of like there's only so many ideas and so many albums that they can put out before you can tell that, you know, maybe they've sort of lost some inspiration there.
There's some exceptions, though.
Like David Bowie, right?
Yeah, I was going to
Bowie,
say
David
for sure,
Bowie.
for sure.
You guys remember the last album that Johnny Cash did, right? That was his biggest album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. I think
Yeah.
it kind of depending on like where they are in their lives too. You know what I mean? Like Bowie's last album was phenomenal, and it was towards the end of his life too. You know, it was like
Well,
him saying
Bowie's-
goodbye.
Bowie's not even a human being, man.
Right.
No,
He's a star man, dude. You know, for real.
Some celestial being that sort of
Right.
just materialized and then dematerialized one day. But yeah. I'd like to take a moment just to remind our audience because they are very shy. We have a shy audience, and just throwing it out there, we love it when our audience asks questions to our guest, and we are more than happy to ask those questions to our guest. We love interaction with our audience, so please keep the questions coming. That's what Hanging with the Franz is all about. So, when did you make the move from Chicago?
I don't know. Let's see. 2015, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, maybe 2015. So it's been nearly 6 years of me being here.
Awesome. Yeah. Is it ever interesting kind of you know, seeing what's happened to the States you know, ever since you've moved?
I mean, you know, if you don't want to talk about politics, let's maybe skip that one. Like,
Right.
yeah, like I don't miss it at all.
Right.
Like pretty much the main thing that I can say is every single day that I see the desmadre, the fucking like
Yeah. Yeah.
mess.
Fucking mess. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the United States, I think, oh man, what a great decision I made. You know,
I think a lot of
and
people share that
also,
sentiment. Yeah.
I got my permanent residency the day before yesterday,
Awesome.
Oh, cool.
and that was after like when I got my regular residency, which I got on the day that Trump was elected.
Ah.
Yeesh.
And I remember like coming home after I was like had my card, and it said in the newspaper like Ghana Trump, and I was just feeling like, holy shit, I made it just in time.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
I've been working on getting my dual citizenship since my parents were both born in Mexico. But I mean, I got a little bit of red tape. I have pretty much most of the stuff, so that's my plan is having that dual citizenship myself.
Can't hurt, man.
Yeah.
Right. My wife's got hers. Her brother got his too. You know what I mean? It's like, it's good to have options.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
All right, so we got a question from the audience. We got a question from Mondo over here. He's like, Luke, what do you miss the most about living in Chi-Town besides the 8-month winters?
Oh yeah, well I don't miss that at all. I really miss I guess I would have to say the hierarchy starts with like my family and my friends, but the thing would be the food, which I think is
Yeah, it's such a culinary hub. I'm a chef, so Chicago's definitely on my list too, man. There's like a bunch of great spots there.
yeah, the food is really like me and my girlfriend the other day we ordered in some wok,
Yeah.
and it was the saddest experience I think she might have ever had in her life.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be bad already, but the international food here is pretty crap, and in Chicago it's pretty incredible. Even if like the worst is usually pretty good.
Pretty damn good still. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. I guess that would be my answer.
Wow.
Food. I'm a fatty.
Well, it's definitely a culinary hub, man. I mean, that's one of the reasons it's on my list too. I've had a lot of people tell me in my industry, and I'm like, well, then I'm gonna have to go desengañarme and go figure it out,
Yeah, you guys should definitely go and check it out once you're able to. If
Yeah.
all of the best restaurants aren't closed down by then.
I know it sucks.
Worthwhile trip.
Yeah. For probably the last like 10 years, and anybody who knows me well enough knows that I've probably have mentioned this a million times, but I've always wanted to just take a train, right, and just hit a lot of the cities around the country that I've never been to, right, like Chicago. I've never been to New York City, which is just ridiculous.
Really? That's crazy.
I know.
It is ridiculous.
It's insane.
I know. I mean, I've been to Washington, D.C., I've been to parts of Virginia and Pennsylvania and all that, but for whatever reason, New York City, haven't done it yet. New Orleans, I want to go to New Orleans.
New Orleans, man. Yeah.
No one ever goes to New Orleans and comes back and says they don't like it.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Like everyone likes New Orleans.
If anybody does, then something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like, for real. The food, the music, the history. I mean, come on,
There's
Yeah.
something for the whole family.
Yeah, exactly. They even got gators.
You even got gators?
Yeah.
One place that I had gone to for the first time recently that I was really surprised about was Houston. I went to Houston and Austin. And I mean, Austin is, of course, amazing, right? But it has that reputation. But I don't know, dude. Texas in general is like, I just had the completely wrong idea about it. And I don't know if anyone here's been to Houston, but I don't know. Texas was cool, man. It was pretty nice. It's like we hung out with my girlfriend's brother and his wife, and they were like in a 3-story house, and I think it cost them like $350,000 or something.
It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
man, that's it.
Yeah.
That's like a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in fucking San Jose, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. Not even, I don't think, actually. That's
Like a
crazy.
duplex.
And
No,
with a
hell no,
straight
it's not even a
face,
duplex. Yeah.
dude, with a straight face, they're just like, yeah, once we have a kid, we're gonna upgrade to something bigger. And it's just like, are you kidding?
They're all for real, that's crazy. I'm gonna go back to my fucking storage closet where I live.
Yeah, I'm
you
over
know,
here
like-
building my tent. Yeah, crazy over there. Yeah, dude. What have you, just curious, Luke, have you been to California?
Yeah, actually, I've been to California quite a few times.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was for the last few years, actually, last 3 years, I wasn't even working in Mexico. I was working in California.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I would come out for about 3 months a year and then come back here.
Nice.
Whereabouts in California, Luke?
Mostly in outside of Santa Barbara in Lompoc.
Mm,
Okay,
Yeah.
not too far from Michael and I.
yeah.
Really? I thought you guys were in San Jose.
I'm in LA, so is he.
Yeah.
Zeke's in San Jose.
Oh,
I
okay.
recently just relocated, so hence
Yeah.
all the traveling in my car for work now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, not too far away. I guess it's like what, 3 hours away from Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
LA,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know that part. I know a lot of California actually. I'm not. Who am I kidding? I know plenty of it. Pretty beautiful state actually.
It's beautiful chaos over here, 24/7.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. You've spent time in LA, I take it?
Yeah, I've spent kind of as little as possible. No offense. Not my favorite city,
Yeah.
but I actually played a gig there. I don't even remember what the name of the club was. I played a gig there though a year and a half ago. That was
Oh, okay.
that was pretty wild.
Do you remember whereabouts it was?
Man, it was at a strip club.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
Probably
where.
Hollywood.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know where it was. It was like near Hollywood. Anyways, it was that was actually a pretty fun night. That was probably my favorite night in Los Angeles.
Right on. Yeah, I feel like a strip club in Hollywood. That's like that could be like most street corners. So I probably wouldn't be able to narrow it down, but
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember, man. I'm not.
Oh, no, that's cool.
Cat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a pretty fun night, and it was just like that was the cool thing, I think. Like I didn't discover what was cool about Los Angeles, I guess, until that night, because it was just so weird, and the weirdness was what was so beautiful about the whole thing. It was like most of the first album that I made, which was what I was playing, is this album Down the Hole of mine. That's what we performed.
Oh, cool.
And it's like it's a prog rock album, man. It's a prog album, and we're playing it at a strip club for a bunch of punks, and then like literally like almost in the same room there's strippers dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like they had I remember they had nachos, and everyone was eating nachos, and it was just
It's super. You can't write that shit. You can't write that shit, man. That's cool.
So
Yeah.
were there other bands on the bill with you, or did you have the whole evening?
No, there was like one dude who was also on the bill with us, who like usually plays, who is like this Mexican dude who plays the keyboard, and he killed it also. I remember
Nice.
he was playing cumbias all night, but he was like playing every single part, like
That's
he was-
dope. Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing a really good job, and like he even would get on the microphone and do like "Brr, brr, brr, brr," and like do the radio effects and shit. And
Yeah.
awesome.
And this guy just has a residency at that strip club, basically.
That was my understanding of the thing, but
He's like, I can't pay the
Nice
entrance fee,
pussy.
but I can play the keyboard. That's awesome.
He gets free nachos and a lap dance
At the same time,
at
yeah.
the same time. Man, I'm really when I was doing promotion for you to be on the show, man, I was really digging your new single. Um, it kind of reminds me of Tom York. I don't know if you ever heard of Tom York.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Really? Wait, you talking about No One's Watching? That
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
That reminds you of Radiohead.
A little.
Was it The Eraser? His album, The Eraser, kind of like stuff from that?
It's more of the acoustic stuff. Oh, I'm sorry, Pete York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Like a little
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
Pete York. I'm sorry, dude. Pete York.
No, it's all good, man. I was thinking like, oh man, Tom York, like everything else that I've made, I'd love to hear that about, but I'm surprised now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Pete York. I'm a big fan of Pete York. He does a lot of folk stuff, especially on his early albums. So that kind of remind me of like Life on a Chain or Strange Condition. What were you influenced by writing your latest material? Did you listen to a lot of stuff, or do you basically write about like experiences you have? How does inspiration hit you?
Man, that's a good question. I guess it's just like kind of living. I mean, the short answer would be like, I just live life and I try and do stuff, and I make a lot of crap, and then some of it doesn't suck so bad. But the longer answer would probably be like, okay, well, I've decided that I want to emulate a sound that's sort of like these certain artists. I want to take certain things from these artists and I want to put my own flair on it. So basically, I don't know, if I'm writing a song, usually I'm just playing acoustic guitar. I'll figure out like the basic chord progression. And lately, since I got like a home studio here, I'll record it immediately and then just sing a bunch of complete bullshit over the track until I can come up with some kind of melody, and then just have fun with it. Like I'm in a playground, like I got everything I need here. So I'm like, oh, you know what? This needs like a shaker, and I'll put the shaker on there, and it sounds horrible. So that's kind of like the process. But for the last single, which the No One's Watching single, yeah, that one's like really different than my other music.
You have some like industrial like elements in your other single you had before that.
Yeah, totally.
Like with the drill and all that, that's pretty dope. Because I know you said you were a big fan of the Mars Volta when we were doing that interview together. Which I could hear some of that. Yeah. I could hear some of that like just like that non-traditional format, you know what I mean, where you're not going by like a B and C part. And that's probably where some of the prog rock stuff comes in, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the rest of the album, like those are like singles, the ones that you guys mentioned, but like, yeah, a lot of them are harder for people to digest or put on their playlists and whatnot. So the No One's Watching was actually a joke when I wrote it. It was a joke. I got Logic Pro X, like a crack copy of this recording software from a friend of mine. And it had all of these cool little plugins and loops and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to make the most stereotypically 80s crap in the world that I possibly can. And I'm going to see if I can do it all tonight. And so I like just recorded it all and then like sang, like I told you guys before, like some complete improvised crap that meant nothing over it. Yeah. And then thought, okay, hey, this is cool, and I put it on my SoundCloud and called it a day and forgot about it for like 2 years or 3 years. And later, and then friends of mine and lots of other people, once I started putting other things on SoundCloud that were like more refined according to me, started telling me that their favorite song was this one, No One's Watching. And it would really piss me off, man, because it was just a total joke, me making fun of 80s music. That was what I was doing. And But so many people told me that I thought, okay, well, you know what? If everybody likes it, I'm gonna make it better. Like I'll make a better version of it. And so I took it into the studio and I wrote better lyrics, and I like ran it through a tape machine also to like
Yeah.
kind
Give
of
it
give
that
it
feel.
yeah, give
yeah.
it a
Of that
go-
era.
exactly. And once I got that, now I like it too. Like I think I improved it, but it's not typical me. The typical
Yeah.
me, I think, is a lot heavier than that.
It's interesting. I mean, that kind of vaguely reminds me of the story that I heard about Quiet Riot, where they, they had that big hit, come on, feel the noise, blah blah blah, right? But that was a cover that their record label wanted them to do. So when you hear their version of that song, that's them trying to play it as obnoxiously as they could because they hated it. But then when they put it out, it's the one that gave them a career.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story. That's pretty cool.
I would have swore it was their song, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
them
didn't
enough,
even
that's
know it
why.
was a cover.
Yeah, it was like some 70s glam band that I guess originally did that. But could you imagine having a whole career just I don't know, having a whole career where every show you play, the closing song or whatever has to be this song that you just hated, right?
Or
Right.
like a song that you didn't write. You wrote every single song that you ever released except for one of them, and that's the one that you have to close with. That would suck
Well, I think
too.
to some extent we have a cover that got a lot of like a following or whatever, and we're slowly kind of moving away from it because that it made a lot of noise. But I think Mike kind of feels that way. He's like, I think we should play something else now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that. I'm actually, what time is it? It's like, well, it must be released where you guys are. I'm releasing a single like at 12. It comes out on Spotify.
Also,
Oh,
like in an hour
that's
here.
cool.
Yeah, and that's the first cover that I ever did. Actually,
What is it? Is it the Monster Mash?
yeah, it's the
Sorry,
Monster.
that's always
I
my
decided
answer, I'm
to do a
sorry.
prog version.
I swear, that's always my answer. You guys are probably catching on to that. It's always Monster
Right.
Mash for everything.
No, we got to do the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
No, it's a Rock Lobster actually.
Oh, dude.
Oh, fuck yeah. I love that song. Dude.
Awesome.
That's dope.
No, I'm totally joking. It's definitely not that song.
Oh.
Is it Love Shack? Is it Love Shack?
Yeah, that would be the third one. That would be the third
Right.
one. No, it's this song by Elliott Smith, actually.
Oh, right. I think I saw you post something about that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's 2:45 a.m. is the name of the tune. It's my favorite tune by him. And so I
Nice.
got this one coming out, and I'm super proud of it. And I want it to like go as far as possible also. But
Yeah.
thinking about it being like, oh, the best song that I ever release is like this cover, even though I think it's like super different than the original,
Mhm.
kind of would upset me, I think.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
that's kind of
tricky.
like the risk you take. Yeah, it's a risk, right? Like I think like that band Orgy felt that with Blue Monday. They had released another single first, got no attention, then they released Blue Monday, and then they went back and pretended that the other single was the first single. I mean the second single, but it wasn't, Same with Alien Ant Farm after
Right.
they did,
I was gonna say Alien Ant Farm. Yeah.
after they did Smooth Criminal, they re-released their first single,
Yeah, but the Alien Ant Farm stuff, I think the Smooth Criminal was probably not their best one. Like they had some really good original stuff.
That album
I agree.
was dope. Yeah, that album was really good. The bassist is crazy good, and the guitarist did some really cool shit too.
I remember seeing them live at the Metro also. That bass
Yeah.
player was doing this for
Dude.
like
Yeah,
literally 2 hours. Like this, he's like this big guy too. And he was
right.
moving around like Michael Jackson, dude.
Totally. On
I
a 6-string bass, playing the 6-string bass. It's crazy, dude.
And doing backups.
I
Like,
know.
yeah.
High pitched backups. Yeah.
I saw
Right.
them at the Avalon, and the singer, like I was in the back, and I was kind of just like, I wasn't really like into it. I was just kind of like watching them, right? And then the singer saw me.
He did
And
what
then
you do.
he jumped off the stage and then walked over to me and then was like looking for like a hug or something, but I felt awkward hugging him back, so I just kind of stood there until he walked away. And it was just super awkward. Yeah.
But that's what you do now. Like when someone's just not
Right.
into it, you go right up to them and you're like, shake them and shit. Get your sweat all over them.
But one of my biggest regrets in life is I should have hugged him, man.
Should
He was looking for a friend.
Was.
But yeah, that bassist was the one that was like
He like,
bringing the
steals
real show, dude. He was the one that was like dancing and hopping around and going nuts. Yeah.
Whatever happened to that band?
They got in an accident after that first album,
Mhm.
and that really derailed them. Like they were all like the singer was in a fucking neck thing, where they
Yeah.
screw the thing to support his head or whatever into his skull. The bassist broke his legs, and it was crazy. They got really messed up, so that really
Right.
slowed him down.
Yeah.
And with this industry, like you have momentum, and you just got to ride that momentum, or you become insignificant. I guess it sucks.
I'm sure they're still around playing. Well, I mean, they're not playing clubs now, but
They're probably
I'm sure
doing the
they're
small
still around.
circuits. Yeah, I think they were probably still doing the small circuits for a little while.
Yeah,
I mean,
kind of
they
like
have
when
a
I
level
saw.
of fame that they can like make a living for the rest of their lives as long as they're willing to play.
Yeah,
Right. They got to play the hits, right? Yeah, totally.
it's kind of like when I saw Third Eye Blind at like the halftime show of a arena football game.
What version? Because I heard there's two versions of Third Eye Blind that go around. There's the version with the singer and a whole bunch of other guys, and there's the version with the band and another singer. Like
Yeah,
they're both
I mean, I
touring.
think
They're both touring.
this was maybe before that. I mean, this was probably a good. This had to have been 10 or 11 years ago.
Okay.
So I think maybe this was before that whole thing, but that is strange that exists somehow.
Well, I've been in places like Reno where you see like what was it, like the Four Tops. We're opening up for the Four Tops, who was like another guy who legally got the name or whatever. But so you're gonna see two versions of him in the same night at some casino in Reno. It was crazy.
right.
Pretty good.
They were
Like
good.
Elvis.
Okay.
It's like Elvis opening up for Korean Elvis.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That was another
That's
thing I
some
saw in
Korean
Los
Elvis.
Angeles that I liked was Korean Elvis.
Korean Elvis. It's like Chicano
nice.
Batman.
That was his official name, Korean Elvis.
Was this
We have
like at a venue or?
It was at a Chinese restaurant.
That's awesome.
He did a great job. I mean, I didn't think he was Elvis, but it was good.
Well, we saw Chicano Batman here. They're pretty big in
Oh,
California.
They are pretty big, yeah.
They are, yeah. They have a crazy sound.
Is it like Batman themed or what is it?
I think it's just a clever name. You know what I mean? It's like my Cholo Bar Mitzvah side project. It's just a clever
right.
name. I remember we went to go do a show and like the MC was all excited. He's like, "Oh my God, I can't wait to hear Cholo Bar Mitzvah." And then we play like My Name is Jonas from Weezer. And he's like, what a letdown. Not that it was like he was expecting like something like completely next level, I think, like something original and like maybe like something you can cruise to in a lowrider. It just wasn't that.
That was the name of your old band?
It was a side project that I was doing with a bunch of friends. They wanted to do a bunch of covers, and I was like, "Well, I want to do a side project called Cholo Bar Mitzvah because I think Cholo Bar Mitzvah is awesome." It's pretty cool.
That's pretty good. I think the side projects always get the best names, actually.
Right. They do because
Yeah.
you could dare to be a little quirky and weird, and you don't have to take it too serious. Again, it's like when you don't take it serious, it's like some of the best shit comes out of that.
I think my last one was called The Secret Mustache. That was the last
That's dope.
ridiculous name of a band that I had.
That's cool though. That's pretty dope.
What was the secret behind the mustache?
Well, they said, I mean, we were all like being stoners at the time, and somebody said secret stash at some point, And then somebody said,
Oh,
secret mustache.
mustache.
That's it. You know.
It's all that's funny. People are thinking about this deeper meaning and shit.
Right,
It's
totally,
like
that's
totally
all.
just a bunch of dudes who were stoned in a room. That's awesome.
So I couldn't help but notice, but this room behind you, is this where the magic happens here?
Well, this used to be my like bedroom here, but I cleared it out like mid quarantine to record the music video for No One's Watching,
Oh, cool.
because I got my regular bedroom right there, and it's like
Oh, okay.
it's a lot bigger. And so I moved it in. I moved like my bedroom in here, and I was in here for like 3 months or something like that. And I just never moved it back. And my girlfriend moved in with me, and yes, 2 days ago, I think we finally like made the move back into the regular thing. So this is totally a mess right here now. Like I had everything real dope in my studio, in my No One's Watching studio before,
Yeah.
but I still need to get it together. But I got all my equipment in here anyways.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got some cool shit. Not much.
It's
man.
hard to go back. It's hard to go back from that. We filmed a one of our videos. It was like the Dia de los Muertos video in my my garage, and as I was moving away, my brother-in-law stayed at our place, and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take down all that black paper you have on the wall from the music video." And I was like, "I should have done that a long time ago. It's been like almost 2 years, you know."
Yo, check this out. I'm walking in right here. This is my front door. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
That's I released that video 3 months ago. That's still hanging on my phone.
Well, dude, I'm sure some of that black paper's still hanging in my garage. You know, that's just I don't know, man. It's hard to let go of some of that shit. You know, it's like those are memories, and I'm lazy. You know.
Yeah, it's a deadly
Look at both.
combination, really.
Yeah, yeah.
Luke, it looks like somebody in the comments are asking you to sing "Happy Birthday" from the Shabark Days or Shagbark Days.
Shagbark?
Oh man, I can't see the comments. What asshole is asking for that? Is that
I think their name is Carol.
Carolus Kabirovis.
oh man? Yeah, that's K-Man. All right.
The K-Man.
Yeah,
What's the
K-Man.
story behind that?
He's just like constantly giving me shit.
Everybody needs somebody like that in their life, right?
Nah, he's my homie, actually. He's my homie from like a long time ago. And that's a reference that he's making from the first band that I ever had. And I had this like song called Happy Birthday, and it's kind of embarrassing, so he wants me to sing it now. I'm not gonna.
In,
I was
in
gonna say, right?
response, yeah, in response we say, how much are you going to pay Luke to sing it?
Yeah, that's right. I am
Yeah.
up for hire. I have a price.
And exposure doesn't count.
Right. I'll pay you an experience and exposure, right? Good old
I'll make you a
experience and
star.
exposure. Joe Hollywood.
So Luke, how has the whole quarantine and pandemic? How's that been on your? How has that affected you, as far as like writing or your relationships with people? I mean, has it isolated you more? Or you tend to enjoy it more that way?
Well, at first I loved it. I don't know. I think everybody probably went through the same sort of changes, maybe just at different times.
Mhm.
But like at first I thought, oh man, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna kill it. I started studying other languages and like running my
Making bread.
scales again. And
You start
Like-
making bread?
yeah, I started. I'm a
Everybody.
great cook now. Actually, I I think I really improved. But after a few months, yeah, like depression was real bad. like pretty
For real,
horrible.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
And then I don't know. And then I like I made a couple of changes also, like just trying to like force myself to do stuff. I adopted a dog.
Nice.
You know, like I said, my girlfriend moved in with me, and just those things really just made my life great. So now I'm back on top again, I feel like.
Cool, man.
That's awesome, man. It's good to hear.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks guys. But like creatively, I don't know, man. I've always been kind of in the same rhythm. Like I don't, even if I'm depressed or if I'm happy or like no matter what state I'm in, I'm always kind of playing. I'm always writing music.
Well, then
just-
you're getting ready to release your second album, right?
Well, this one is going to be an EP. So
Okay.
it's going to have 6 songs on it, and like the last one had 13,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which was like such a stupid move for me, considering like no one knew who I was, and I'm going to release 13 songs now. But whatever, I can't go back. That's what I did. So the next one's
Yeah.
going to be an EP. It's going to be called Leftovers, and I think it's going to be dope. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the one
Cool,
that's
man.
coming out, the single that's coming out tonight, man. The Elliott Smith cover.
Right,
Yeah.
right. 245.
Yeah, 245, man. And I think I really, not to presumir, brag.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, you're good. You're good, man. Come
Not
on.
not
you
to
know?
brag, but I think like I did my best really in that song to make it my own. And so
Dude, I look at it this way, man. If
Trust
you're not a
that.
fan, then why should I be a fan, right? You got to be a
Yeah.
fan of your stuff,
That's
man.
true.
For real.
Yeah, that's a good call. I think there's just like you see a lot of times the people cross the line in between being their own fan and
Right.
losing, like, what's the word for humble? Yeah, I guess it's humble.
Right.
Like they're not humble anymore.
You know, I always
Yeah.
tell Mike, I don't want to be that guy because I've had friends that are musicians where they're like, they show you their track and they're right in front of you and they're just like this, like
I
the whole
know.
time. They're just fucking smiling at you. And when you look at them, they just nod their head and you're like, it's so fucking awkward. You know, you're like,
Dude,
I
yeah,
know.
I love it.
I can
It's
totally
great.
relate to that though. I feel like that's me. I feel like that's me. Every time I show somebody my shit, I'm like, yeah,
You're
right.
just like,
What do you think? You like it, right? You love
it's
it,
the
right?
best, you know? Yeah.
For me, I always tell people like, listen to it when I'm not around, and
Right,
that way
right.
pressure's off. Just you go listen to it whenever I'm not around, and you won't have to feel like you're
Obligated
under a
to fucking
microscope or
whatever.
something. Yeah.
I've had people like coworkers where I show them stuff, right? And like they kind of roll their eyes when I tell them I'm in a band because I'm in the kitchen. And then like the next day, they're like, dude, you don't fucking suck. That's awesome. You know, everybody who shows me their band, they suck. And I'm like, thanks. Cool. You know, I'm glad I didn't disappoint you, asshole. You know, I don't know,
They're like, you don't sound like Nickelback at all, you know.
not at all.
I think there's kind of a bit of a misconception when someone's a local musician or a local band, like there is kind of that old school kind of mentality where you're gonna turn on their music and it's just gonna be like horribly recorded and like the drums are all out of time and you know what I mean, and like everything just kind of it just sounds like vomit or whatever.
You know what? We need to make an album like that, dude. That sounds like a cool, fun project to do. You know, just suck on purpose. You know,
I would do that.
Yeah,
I would
dude.
do that.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
all
down.
for it if I'm invited.
Yeah, we should all collaborate and make the worst album we can make. You know,
Dude, have you heard of Horse the Band? Has anyone here
I have.
listened to Horse
I've
the
heard of Horse
Band?
the- I don't listen
Oh,
to Horse the
God.
Band, but I've heard of Horse the Band.
Yeah. I don't know. That just reminded me like that's that kind of band where it's just so obnoxious and ridiculous. And you can tell that
Intentionally did that shit.
they don't even care, but they're like gigantic, they're gigantic, right? They millions of
Right.
views. Yeah.
I trip out when I hear that. Like I remember recording tracking guitar stuff in like studios, and like the guy's giving me shit, right? Like, no, I can hear your pick scrape a little bit. Do that track again. I'm like, all right, like all perfectionist and shit, right?
Mhm.
And then we throw on something that sucks, that's like hella big,
And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, that fucking guitarist is sloppy as shit. And he's like, no, it's intentionally that way. And I'm like, hey, go fuck yourself. You know, like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know. I
because
think
the
that's funny.
gatekeepers are telling that guy that it's good.
Right.
That's what it is, Ruben. Anyways.
Careful, because the gatekeepers are going to get us canceled, man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Luke.
Because they watch Hanging with the Friends, right?
Yeah. This is always the awkward part of the show. I always give the awkward announcement because I'm the time cop.
Time cop.
And we have reached the end of our show. We are out of time. So what I would love is for you to take the next minute or two to really just, tell our audience where can they find you. The best places to listen to your music, the best places to buy your music if it's available for purchase, what they have to look forward to, and take it away.
Dope. Okay. Yeah. I'm glad that it's acknowledged as the awkward part, because it's usually not. I guess my music can be found on any streaming platform, including everything as far as
Deezer?
including Deezer.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, I actually made sure that happened.
You're a good man.
Let's see. My social media, I'm just found like my name is my name. So I'm Luke Mac Roberts, and Mac Roberts is
With an A.
Yeah, which I don't think would be so confusing in the United States, fortunately. But they actually legally changed my name to Roberts by accident here the other day
Oh, shit.
when I got my legal residency. So, Senor Roberts in the house.
That's like Zeke.
What's
No, go on. Sorry. I'm interrupting you. My
It's
bad.
all good. You tell me that story later, though.
Yeah, we will. Sure.
And I got the single coming out by Elliott Smith that I did. So it's my personal version that I recorded here in Mexico City in a studio called Madriguera, which is dope. It's founded by and recorded by the drummer from Apollo, which is like kind of a legendary hard rock band here in Mexico City. And he plays drums on it. And
Sick.
so that's coming out later on. We're going to be having a music video for it, probably in a month and a half. And then after that, we're going to we're going to release the entire EP. So there's a bunch of things to be looking forward to in terms of like what I'm doing. And I'm pretty sure I'm like pretty low on the Spotify follow list, even though I got a lot of people listening to me. So I appreciate any of the follows that I get on there. And yeah, I just thank you guys for having me on, and thanks for anybody else who's interested enough to like listen to my dumbass for this long and like actually want to like go out of the way and check out my music.
Dude, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. I
Yeah,
mean, you do some
absolutely.
cool shit. Great conversationalist. Cool dude, man. You know, we couldn't ask for
Thank you,
anything
Captain
better,
Rock.
you know, honestly.
Rock and roll. Thank you guys.
And what
Thank
I was
you.
saying about Zeke is we used to work at a place and they couldn't say his name, Ezekiel. So they changed his name to Bob. And he even got a check that said Bob.
Yeah, he started putting that on my check. I couldn't even cash my checks after that. And then I went up to my
Wow.
boss. I told him, dude, my name is not Bob. He's like, but you call yourself Bob. I'm like, no, you call me Bob. My
Yeah, motherfucker, you called me Bob, right? Yeah.
it took
They
about
told
3
me to
weeks to
change
change
my
it
name.
back.
They told me
Wow.
to change my name to Robert because they couldn't say Ruben either. And I was like, I just gave them that face. And they're like, okay, it's Ruben. It's fine. Like, hell
Wow.
nah.
Wow, that's kind of messed up, man.
I
Like,
know.
like, you can just turn that shit super gringo and say Ezekiel Rubin, you know?
That's funny. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you,
happens.
Luke. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. Pleasure.
All right, man.
Thank you. And thank you to our audience, of course, for always tuning in. And thank you for your questions. This has been Hanging with the Friends. We're on every Thursday night at 8:30. We will see you next time. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy and have some fun. Have some fun.
And check out the new single today. It's coming out
Absolutely.
in like half an hour.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
All right. Peace out.
Later.